Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Windtop Bluff colony. And as you can see, we've got a ton of beavers just moving all throughout the colony. And last time, we were able to get some more wind power in and move some stuff around out into some of the distant areas. But what I think I want to do is maybe dedicate those areas to what they're trying to work on. So we'll have an area here. We'll have an area probably for over here right now. And then I want to get a separate area here for now as well. And to do that, we're going to be separating them out into districts. Now, I don't use districts very often, and I didn't think this map would be big enough for districts, but we're going to try it, and we're going to see if it speeds up the building process. So we're going to go through and add a couple of our district crossings first, just so we can get those in there, and then we can kind of work around what we've got so far. We also have 4 bots, so while I'm here, let's switch this over so we have less beaver injuries because the bots are in there. We'll start with that, and then over here, I think we're gonna put. I want to put it right here actually because I've got an idea. We'll do that right there, maybe. Now we'll put it closer to this one. We'll do this. There we go. Get that one in there. And then I want one up here as well. And for now, I'm just going to run a road right around here. Get those into there. Get those into there. Why did I forget to fill in that hole? Who knows? There we go. That can all be filled in. And now we're going to put one in. Let's actually put it in right about here. They can find their way around if they need to. Put a district crossing in here. Not to mention, I'm hoping that we avoid any frame rate problems as our colony grows bigger and bigger. The more beavers you get, the worse the frame rate seems to get, and I'd kind of like to avoid that. Let's see, last time it looks like our big reservoir here took quite a hit, so we'll see if this fills up in the temperate season, and we'll see how much goes from there. I'd also, once they cap these off, we can probably turn this into a small lake. So let's come around here first. There we go, there, and oh, I've got 4 more. Let's, for the moment, we'll put them in here. There we go. Then I've got 1 extra. Do I have 1 more place I can toss these guys? Let's put you in the explosive place, because that's kind of dangerous. There we go. We'll do that and let them go from there. Now, as we are trying to cross this river, let's see if we can actually get across it here. We're going to do this and come right down along here. Maybe something like this. And let's get, I'm going to do 3 because they should still be able to flush the bad water out of here. And then we'll put the 4th layer in afterwards. But who knows, they might not even be able to get to it. I think they're stuck working on these because I'm going to guess they're all normal priority. They are. So what I'm going to do, well, let's see if we can up the priority of this and get a district in just a little bit faster over here. There we go. First of our district crossing is set up, so let's just go around here temporarily. There we go. There's no separate districts, so we get that warning, but that's okay. We're kind of expecting that at the moment. In fact, at the moment, I'm also going to want some storage because I think everything over here is going to be bot run. So all we really need for a bot district is a couple of medium tanks, and then we'll do a medium warehouse. We'll do 1 medium warehouse here. And in this one, we'll put the punch cards. Let's see, there's the punch cards. And we'll get their 2 fuels over here. Fuel, and then we'll go that. And I think here we can probably go ahead and install this first district. This second district, I guess we could call it. We'll do that. Let's go ahead and get... There it is. We want a district center. And, oh, is it? Yeah, it's still connected over here. Let's take that out. Now it's not connected anymore. We can put in the district center here. There we go. It had to think about that for a second, but that's okay. Let's see how many bots we need in total. We're going to do this. We're going to set this to bots for now, so they should be able to work pretty much 24/7. If we start getting more bots, we'll send them over here for this. Let's say also that these are slightly more important so that those get done. And we'll say migrate population. Let's get... call this something else. If anybody has any ideas for the district names, let me know. We'll see if we can work those in at some point. But for this, looks like they need 17 bots. So let's go right now. We'll do 17. There we go. And that fills up this side, correct? Nope, it sure does not. So I'm going to need a couple more. Now, how many do I need? Let's go. We've got 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That covers those. Let's put a whole bunch of beavers in here, since they should be fine. They don't need any houses over here. Oh, would you look at that? They've got the Badwater Dome done there, which means I can go ahead and fill a lot of this in. Just remove what we can here. There we go. This all looks good. They've got some punch cards. This... oh, I've got... couple more it looks like I need. Let's go back there. 1, 2, 3. Anything else? Nope. Everything else looks just fine. They should be able to export straight out of there, and hopefully they can take over and just place in here for now. But oh, they don't have a hauler, so we're just going to say check marks on both of those, and they can use both of those as they see fit. And they can get to blowing up all of this area over here. In fact, it looks like they've got a lot of that already done. Let's come over here. They've got this one done, but they don't have currently... we have some places for beavers up here to work. All these places should be... nope, they're not bots yet either. Let's change some bots around here. Move these to bots, I guess you could say. We'll move those to bots. And we'll leave that as beavers, but they're going to have some food and some place to live. So let's get some triple lodges in here. Maybe we'll do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do maybe that many. Yeah, that looks good for now. We'll just do that many, and if we have to expand out, we'll expand out later. We'll do this. Let's grab our ladders, since we do have that mod at least, and they can come up and live in there. Then for... move you, so that we can toss in some storage. We're just going to do bread, like so. And then we'll move you over 1. And then do I want some water? I think I'm going to need some water. Actually, we'll put a large tank up here since they have pumping tank for that. There we go. We'll get them in there. This isn't gonna work though. They can't, oddly enough, they can't zip line across districts to my knowledge. Let's double check here. Do that. And then if I were to say put in a district center, oh, let's put you, nope, won't let you put it here. So we're going to have to disconnect that. Do that. Not that one. There we go. Now everything is disconnected. Okay, well, we need a district center here. In fact, we're going to put it right there. That looks like a good spot. We'll tell them... well, we'll figure out how many of each we need. Speaking of which, we need storage, because we're going to need 2 of these and a small storage over here for the bots that are here. So let's do that. We'll do biofuel. We'll do catalyst. And we'll do punch cards. There we go. And then over here, let's get 4 of them. And let's say this place needs 36. And it looks like it needs 8 bots. So we'll get all of those over here. Hopefully there'll be extras. Like we're a little low on the first district ones. We actually need what? 27 and 7 is... It's not that many, but we'll give them at least 35. There we go. They should be building all their stuff here. They'll get all that in. They should still get some food through here, I would hope. Yeah, at least some of that. And that we'll set up for bread so that we have our own little outpost over here. Did I set these up? Yes, I did set those up. So we should be good there. They'll have water in here when they can build it. They've got tons of extra stuff still to pick up. Up here, I would kind of like maybe a quick connection up to the top up here. And then let's see how far these can go. We can still connect in about that far away. Can I put you over here? Are you too far? What about there? About here. All right, that works. If I were to put... I don't know if that will... I think there's something in the way is the problem there. I'm going to connect you here. And then we're going to do one here. Like those will still connect. So let's do that. Bet that's the problem there. Yep, it's right through there. So once this metal gets out of there, we'll be able to connect to each side of the lake. This will still get bad water in it every once in a while, but that's okay. We'll learn to live with all of that. Oh, this has got to connect over to here. There we go. We'll let them get started on that. Let's go to our last section of the colony, which is this here. And over here, if I were to, let's take this out of here. Yep. Yep. There we go. There we go. There we go. They're going to need houses, which I'm just going to settle down in here so I don't have to build anything extra. Let's do 1, 2, 3 for now. And this way. And we'll do the district center about right there. We're going to need some storage for other things. Across here. Grab that storage. We're going to definitely need dirt. So let's do dirt, and we'll do logs there. We're going to need some water. Let's do water. And for food, we'll just plan on bread as well. And I think that should do. Let's see. Once that's all up, we'll get rid of this and disconnect this location, because hopefully we won't need it. While we're doing so much construction, I've noticed our logs are slowly trickling down, so we're going to find, or try to find, a couple more places with logs. One, I'm going to finish out my nice chestnut grove here so that hopefully we don't need chestnuts anymore. But this also reaches all the way over to there, so we can toss a bunch of oaks in this area. Oaks. And toss oaks all the way back there. Maybe when this fills up, there'll be more green land in there. Let's toss in a couple of... There we go. Lumberjack flags. Those are good. And since this is now capped off, we can go ahead and put those in there. We'll tell them that this is just a bit more important, and this is just a bit more important. Ooh, they're really struggling to see that. There we go. There we go. That way those fill up, and then I don't want to take these out during a long drought, so we'll leave that for now, but we'll definitely let them start to plant those. There we go. That looks good. Water's holding in tight. Our food is not as good as I'd like it to be, so I think we're going to come up here. I'm going to remove the grilled spatterdock grill here. And let's see, we'll put in another one. Since we're sending out so much bread, we'll make bread up here too. And then we'll do the grills. 1, 2, 3 for extra potatoes, extra chestnuts, and extra spatterdock. We could probably get some storage up here as well. Let's see. Maple pastries needs maple syrup, wheat flour, and just logs. Let's change you over to logs. Logs coming in. There we go. We also need that maple syrup. Let's go ahead and there's our storage. Had to find it for a second. We'll get that in there. And then let's do maybe a path back here. And this is for the wheat flour. But we'll do wheat flour, and then that can come out there. Go in there. What do we need on the second one? Just cattail flour. So we'll do cattail flour, cattail crackers. Next one is bread, which I think is just wheat flour, so I actually don't need another one of those. But I will need one on this side for the bread going out. Over here, I'm going to need potatoes and chestnuts and grilled chestnuts and the spatterdock. There we go. And we'll even toss in some ladders here. The wonder of ladders. There we go. That all looks really good. They just have to build that. Over here, let's say, I don't know what they're working on, but at least these are high priority. Everything else, we can kind of figure it out as we go. But this will get us some food. We might end up needing to cut into some of our forest here if we start running out of logs. But in the meantime, I do want to go ahead and try and maybe get... Let's see if we can get at least a couple more places for logs up around here. There we go. And we'll put one in here. Then we'll do a couple of lumberjacks here and there. One here, over here. That looks good. How about there? There. One here, one there. Takes care of a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and also get someone to take down these towers here. And maybe someone to take down the towers here. There we go. They're not super huge important, but they are going. It looks like they've got their zipline stuff in. Good. How are these guys doing on... Well, they need to get this out of here. How are you doing on metal? Scrap metal. I guess we could put up... Do we have... We already have one. Is the scrap metal full over here? No, that's blanks. Are you scrap metal? No, definitely not. Let's prioritize that so we can get all that scrap metal in. Because that's what we need to do. This should be pulling scrap metal out of there pretty quickly. In fact, let's up the number that's on this side. This side is okay with 4. Hopefully they'll be able to bring in more stuff in and out of there. Over here, they've almost got this filled in, which is nice, and they've got a layer here done. They're working their way down on that one though, so we'll let them work on that for a bit. I think everything otherwise is doing all right. Our log situation has gotten kind of dire at the moment, so we're going to go ahead. One, we're going to take out these guys because they're obviously not pulling in any logs. And we're going to come around the back here. There's a couple of logs back here. Not a ton, but we might as well get them if we're looking for logs. So we'll put 2 in there. And then we'll put a couple in over here as well. Maybe pull in these logs. Go here, and we'll go around the big tower there. And we'll say that go ahead and cut all of these. We'll have to keep an eye on it so that our beavers don't run under our big shower of bad tide here. We're going to have to fix that eventually, and we will, but we're going to go ahead and cut those trees out. I know I'm going to hear about them having to work in the sludge. I will keep them away from the sludge. I will try my best. Over here, though, it looks like we have an area where we're not maybe using all of these, so we're going to go ahead and say, let's cut out all of these for now, and we're going to cut out some of these as well, and you guys can cut out these. There we go. We'll see if that helps bring in any logs at all. I don't know that there's any. Some of them can get to that. So if that comes up, let's say don't replant this one, and we'll put a lumberjack over there. Our little colony outpost up here is actually in a pretty good spot, which means I can start work on what we're going to do with this. One, we are most definitely going to keep drilling down to the bottom here so that we have a place to get the bad water to exit. But the other thing that I think we are going to do is we're going to take some of these terrain blocks and we're going to start building an outer perimeter on all of this stuff. So if we go here, we'll probably leave that zip line there until we basically can't make anything else from it, and then we'll take it out and figure out what we need to do. I don't think this particular colony is going to be a permanent one, but it will be a very functional one. So we'll get all of this set up, and we'll come around to the outside here, hopefully. Yeah, I don't need that one. I'm not going to need that one. You there. You. We'll get you started. That's going to have to go. Nope, I don't want one down there, but that's okay. You want one here. Here, and we'll remove this road. There we go. Road tool. Out of there. There we go. And there. Oh, look, they've already started building the rim around this. So we'll go ahead and we'll get in one of those. And I will build that up for just a little while. Let's take the road across here, and then I can probably take this road out of there. In fact, if I do that, those guys are now there. Let's just take this out and we'll come across. How's that still connected in? Oh, that's connected in over there. Okay, well, let's disconnect that. And now we'll connect this in here. There we go. Now you guys should have plenty of room there. Everything else looks to be going well. And we'll do this. We'll come out here. There we go. We'll get that built up. This actually just needs to go. So we're just going to demolish that. These... that's not really needed. Let's empty that. And then once they've got that emptied, we'll take that out of there. We'll let them keep on working on that. We've got a couple of extra beavers here and there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have them come down and let's give every one of these districts a nice hauling post. We don't have to fill it up. We'll do maybe maybe 5 should be okay. And if we can do that, maybe they can still get stuff moved around and in through the colony. This one, though, we're going to have to put in bots, which is fine. That's plenty of stuff to still move here and there. They've got a lot of stuff here to do. They're taking from here. Speaking of which, there are some extra planks here. So what I could do is to fill this back up, we could take out a lot of these planks here because they still should, theoretically, just theoretically, of course, be able to pick all these up and put the tunnels in there as well. We're just kind of doing that because it's easier than basically trying to get the timing right for all of the dynamite in there. And demolition wise, you get 5 of the planks back, so it's really just using what, an extract, an extra extract, and 1 plank to make sure that none of your beavers explode and you don't really have to keep that close of an eye on it. So that seems like a good trade-off to me. Still way overpopulated in the main area, so I'm going to put down at least 2 more hauling posts just so that we can make sure that we're getting stuff moved around as best as we can, getting everything where it needs to be nice and easy. Also, over here, they are working on... Oh, I've got 3 beavers that aren't doing anything here. Let's pause them, and they can go find something else to do. That's just fine. Let's go ahead and move... we'll put in, I don't know, how about that many to start clearing out this area over here while there's no bad water flowing down from above. We're still trying to get trees in there, so... Speaking of which, no, we've got a source of trees right here. We could take all these out. Let's take all of these out. And then what I'm going to do here is replace them with a little bit of dirt. There we go. This can all go in. That one needs one, and that might be out of range. We'll come back for that one. We're slowly moving this up. Eventually, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to build a tower. Looks like that's as high as it's going to go. So we'll start there. And eventually, we might have to knock some of this out. We might put something here. I'll figure that out when we get there. But let's get the sides in first. And then we can start making our way around for that. Small project that I've forgotten about. We're going to go ahead and cap that off, and that'll be the last of the bad water sources that we have to worry about. We're going to have to get a bridge out there, though. Let's see. Let's do... This should be enough of a bridge. Yep, we'll do that. There we go. And then once that's capped, we can start looking into... Well, we can't exactly look into this area being green until we deal with the bad water from here. And eventually we'll have to probably deal with the bad water from there, but we'll come back through on all of those. We've got this bad water to deal with. In fact, if I do this and X and do you and put you back and then delete you, there we go. We can keep digging down on that too while they're working on other things. Hopefully none of them get trapped in the wall over here, but you know how those beavers sometimes are. They're still working through this, and admittedly, the 4 bots here have gotten quite a ways, but we do have plenty of bots, and I've already switched basically everything else out on the map, industrial-wise, to bots. So we're going to go ahead and grab some builders' huts. Let's put one here behind, and we'll put one here. And let's connect those in. Those should both already be set for bots. Oh, I actually have to unlock bots there. And you should be bots. And that should help get this done here a little bit quicker. We're going to have to bring over probably 8 more bots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we Go. And they won't have anything to do until it gets in there, but that's okay. I don't think we need to worry about that too much. But we've done okay. We've got some new districts set up. Things are going pretty smoothly with those. Still got some wind issues, but that's what we're working on here. They'll get that out eventually. We've got all of this going. Everything's moving pretty fast. We've got these guys that are starting to set up what will basically be a central water tower for us. We've pulled in a lot of trees. In fact, it looks like we've almost scraped the map clean of them. So we might, yep. Well, there's a couple over there. So we'll have to make our way that way somehow. But let's just take all of these out. They can pick up their own stuff. We'll say that that's really important for them to do. And then the last place of trees, last bastion of untouched wilderness is kind of right over there. Let's put it in. Oh, they already got that done? Good job, guys. All right, well, we'll put in some bigger bridges here. Maybe a 3. Yep. Maybe a 2. Yep. And staircases, or not staircases, I guess those are ladders. Out of here. Comes over here. Oh, I can go around. There we go. Up here. Get a couple of lumberjacks. Maybe here and here. And, oh, there's a way down here. Excellent. We'll get maybe one here. And then a ladder. And we'll say that all of these of the last natural trees are going to be cut. We'll probably have to put one over here for them to get to that, but that's okay. We'll get there when we get those trees retrieved. But I think that's going to do it for this time. Next time, we're going to continue working on our big water tank in the center here. Hopefully, eventually, it'll be able to hold enough water to push out to these other reservoirs everywhere. We're going to keep working on this area over here, which should hopefully turn into a power generation area and hopefully power storage area. And then we've got this little area over here where it's just kind of a production area. There's some metals coming in. We've just got to kind of figure out what we want to do with that. But until next time, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you next time.